Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of BTC, taking a look at what's been going on most recently, what we expect to happen next, and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now, if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, I do urge you guys to join. It is free. It is a centralized hub of everything that we do Cheeky Crypto. It's basically the first place we go to let you know what is going on in the crypto industry. It's the first place before we go on YouTube, before we go on Twitch, before we tweet things. Check out the Discord server. So why not check it out? You can also find a whole host of additional links for various different things down in the description below, various different promotional offers and things that are going on with our partners here at Cheeky Crypto. Okay, so let's make a start. We are on Bitcoin paired up with USDT. We use the USDT pair because it is one of the biggest and kind of widely used trading pair when it comes to Bitcoin. We're also using Binance as our data source here because, again, Binance is one of the bigger exchanges and has high amounts of liquidity. This gives us a most accurate picture as to what is going on when it comes to Bitcoin here and BTC. Do note, though, that if you do want to kind of mimic this analysis on your own charts and you're using something like, I don't know, Bybit, BitGet, Coinbase, whatever, you might have slightly different pricing. Also the same when it comes to the pair of USDT, USDC, USD. These always have slight fluctuations, so your analysis might be slightly different to what I have here. Okay, so following on from what we were talking about previously and following on from this morning's Twitch stream, you can see that we have now broken down into a new lower low, and again, we are outside of our range. Okay, so for the last few days, we've been ranging sideways. It was incredibly boring, and we were saying that we had a high likelihood of breakdown. Okay, I had this kind of scoped out around the 15,285 level, and that has now changed because we didn't push up as high as I first thought we were going to, so therefore the lower target has dropped down even lower, just underneath the $15,000 level. Now, we're going to do is we're going to put some waves on here to help us understand how we get to this number here. Okay, so to start with, we're going to just go and draw on here the structure, which is basically an ABC. More actually technically a WXY, but I prefer to use ABC to keep things really, really simple for YouTube purposes. And so as you can kind of see, we have this three-wave move to the downside. Now, this is a short-term corrective move. Basically, this means that we should be experiencing a three-wave structure to the upside at some point after we complete this to the downside, okay? So I will be looking for some kind of move to the upside afterwards. Now, I don't know how high that's going to go, but considering the stochastic RSI, I wouldn't be too surprised if it was somewhere between 10, 15, maybe even pushing as high as 20%. But it would be short-lived nonetheless. I don't think that's a good move overall. I don't think we're going to be bullish longer term. I do think there's still a lot of fallout here from the FTX and 100 or so companies that have filed for bankruptcy on the fallout. And we're yet to see kind of, how those chips are going to land. All those assets that these particular platforms have will go up for auction. They won't make it onto the open market straight away. I would imagine that there will be a few institutions circling, looking for some cheaper Bitcoin, etc., and they'll be making some bids on those. So we're going to be interested to kind of see how things kind of fall. Now, on the Twitch stream, we do go through the wallet counts. We take a look at what the whales are doing, what the shrimps are doing, what the krakens are doing, and so forth. And for the most part, retail money is basically coming off the exchanges, but it is not selling. It is basically just putting things into cold storage. And this is pretty much the message that we've been consistently hitting with, and that is that we really don't know whether or not you can trust some of these exchanges. After all, FTX did come out and say there's absolutely nothing to worry about. We've got all the assets, there's nothing, no reason for concern. And then just days later, a lot of people lose a lot of money. Right? So you can't just take them at their word. You kind of have to do your own due diligence. And for the most part, we like to use cold storage to just protect ourselves and look after our own crypto. Now, we have partnered up, or I say partnered up, we're affiliated with Ledger. There's a link in the description below. We do get a kickback on those sales. If you do want to support the channel, then buying a Ledger is going to do that. But it also is going to help protect you from these exchanges. It means you're able to self-custody, you're able to look after your own cryptocurrency, and you don't have to worry about these exchanges going bankrupt and then using your assets to pay off their debt, in the case of what we've seen several times already in 2022. So if you're on an exchange and you've been thinking about it and you're not sure whether or not self-custody is for you, do some research on it. There's many different brands out there. We like Ledger. You get a lot of bang for your buck with the Ledger device, in my opinion. But there are other brands out there, so do your own research. One of the things I would say though is you make sure you buy it from the manufacturer directly. There's a lot of fake ones out there across various different things such as Amazon and eBay and things like that. So make sure that if you are going to be buying a hardware wallet, you buy it direct from the manufacturer, from the correct domains, and you won't have any of those issues. Obviously, link is in the description below for the Ledger device. It's a good starting place to be thinking about hardware wallets if you haven't done so already. As we can see, there's a huge migration from people holding on exchanges to now be in self-custody. Now, this does pose a problem for the Bitcoin and crypto space, right? Essentially, we see a shrinkage of the supply that's available up for sale on the exchanges, and we've got to have confidence come back into the market, right? So at some point, we're going to have to find which trustworthy exchanges we want to be using, and we're going to have to eventually go on there for transactions, right? Whether we want to buy more or whether or not we want to offload, okay? And so although it's great to go ahead and kind of pull everything off the exchanges, at some point, whatever exchanges do survive through this winter, some of them are going to be more trustworthy than others, okay? So just bear in mind, you've got to start strategizing over what it is that you're going to do. And obviously, for a move to the upside for Bitcoin here, one of the things that we're going to have to be looking for is we're going to have to be looking for a way for people to come and buy up the assets, okay? So in order for Bitcoin to move up here, we want to see some demand coming in, okay? So that's why I say this could be a really short move, could be like 10%, something like this, or it could be, up here at like 20%, right? Right back up into our demand supply area at the top. We don't know what that looks like because at the moment we don't really have visibility on what trustworthy exchanges people are going to flock towards. Now, Binance is pretty good, which is why we use this one here. But again, it'll be short term. We'll be on there to buy or be on there to sell, and it'll be pretty much over with relatively quickly. So do watch out for that. Essentially, if I bring up our stochastic RSIs, we can see that we're overbought now on the hourly chart. I am expecting some further downside here, and I have got that scoped out at $14,938. Now, we can, of course, see that we're oversold on the monthly, the weekly, the daily, the 8-hourly, not the 4-hourly. That's actually progressing up a little bit here. Now, one of the things I do want to kind of talk about here is that we've only just gone down into this weekly oversold position. We can be down here for a couple of weeks yet, a fair few weeks, probably 3, 4, maybe even 6 weeks, we could be down in the oversold area. So I'm not expecting this to kind of be over with anytime soon, but it does give us an opportunity to be thinking about dollar cost averaging. You can also see here on the 20-hour, the 16-hour, we've only just entered into these areas, even on the 12-hour there. 8-hour, we're okay. The 4 hours coming back up again, so I do expect that to fluctuate a little bit. But for the most part, our stochastic RSI is kind of indicating to us that we're going to be experiencing some volatility. Now, tomorrow we do have the FOMC minutes, so that's going to be interesting. That's going to potentially lead us also into some kind of pain here, so do watch out for that. The market may or may not react. It's always hard to say for certain, so do watch out. I don't think there's anything major happening today. There's a few things UK-based and Euro-based stuff, but nothing that I think is going to overly move the market too much. Tomorrow is going to be the key day. So if things are oversold quite heavily on the smaller timeframes, I would expect to move up. If, however, tomorrow things are all up in the overbought area, that 4-hour chart, that 1-hour chart, they're back up in the overbought area, I would expect more downside. As I said, 14,938 seems to be the area that I am scoping out here on the 1-to-1 for this. And of course, we do have that theoretical lower point at 13,207. But I would look at that as a slight move up before we can pull down that low. I could be wrong on that, of course, but this is a slightly bigger move coming from all the way at the top here as A, B, and C. But I could see a bounce up here maybe before pulling on down. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. And there's a lot of things to be thinking about when it comes to BTC. But for now, I think the message is pretty clear. We should be looking after our own assets. We should be coming off the exchanges, and we should be doing our research as to which exchanges we want to be trusting when it comes to buying more or offloading when those times come. Right now, I'm leaning more on Binance, and it's not many other exchanges that I want to trust too much. And if I am to go on an exchange, it's going to be for a very short period of time. on and off the exchange as fast as I can. I don't want to have too much exposure to those exchanges, even Binance to that degree. I'm going to leave this video right there, but do join us down in Discord. We'll keep everyone up to date with a lot more in there. Other than that, guys, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.